Let's have a good run, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Oh, who's that dude carrying your bag up here?
Don't.
Where?
Oh, did you just have a bunch of discs with you?
Yeah, I just didn't.
Oh, okay. Somebody was walking with you.
Good luck.
Bucky.
Have a good run.
Oh, is that who it was?
What?
Oh, okay. I didn't see you with
Yeah, he
bag.
was carrying his bag.
Okay, that's what it was.
Hey, you carrying for me, Bucky?
Yeah,
I didn't know about it. Hey, what's going on?
Is there a CTP on this course? I'm not sure.
You walking with us, Bubba?
Yes, sir.
Come here, son.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Give me some good stuff.
This is hole 1 out at Cedar Hill. Can be a little tricky. Uphill, usually there's somewhat of a headwind. I'm not sure the situation here, but most pros either throw a straight up the gut with something flippy or a roller. Not sure what Donald's doing here.
I think Donald didn't throw too many roller shots, so I'm guessing he's just throwing that destroyer probably out there.
Yep, and that's it, straight at the middle. Turned it a little bit.
In that bush, it popped out. It should be all right.
From there, he's looking at about 250 feet uphill. Very, very doable.
And we got Bucky Garrett here.
He's kind of a local from around the area, very familiar with Cedar Hill. Don't really know if he throws rollers or not, so we'll see what he takes on here. He kind of did the same thing with that straight up the gut shot, but got a rough kick off a tree. And then next we got Brendan Hickman from up in Oklahoma.
Ponca City, Oklahoma. That looked like a roller shot, right?
That was straight up the gut.
Yeah.
Everybody's going straight up the gut. No one has the.
Might be a little bit of wind out there or something.
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
We got Andrew Berger here. I'm not too familiar with Andrew, with his game, but he made the lead card, so let's watch him play.
Same thing. We've got all 4 guys doing up the gut shots, so there must be a little bit of wind out there deterring him from throwing those rollers today, because that's really a good shot. I just tend to lean toward the roller.
Yeah, I like to throw the roller out to the right side.
Here goes Dixon Jowers with the roller that we were talking about.
That's going to be just fine up there to the right. I prefer to be up to the right on this hole because you got that fence along the left side that'll, you can just pretty much run at your second shot.
Yeah, looks like we got Brendan here throwing his approach. So look at that down tree limb the day before they had to pull out of the way. Winds came in and knocked it down, so that's created a little more chaos than normal.
This is August, I believe, so it's probably pretty steamy this time of year down here, isn't it?
Yeah, normally the heat of our summer down here in Texas in the DFW area comes into effect right in the late July, August time frame. That's when it starts to really get hot. So these guys are suffering out there a little bit. Bucky and Dixon, some of the native Texans, are probably dealing with it a little better.
Yeah, especially Dixon being from down in Houston.
Yeah, it's a little hotter down there for sure, and more humidity. Donald got kind of an interesting lie here. You have a fence on the left that keeps you in bounds. You can see all the cars there on the right. There's really not a lot of danger of going OB, but if you leave this shot short, it's really hard to make the putt, because most of the time it's uphill into a headwind. It looks like he got a little tree limb there, and he's going to be faced with about a 60-footer or so.
Try to save his par. All right, Andrew here. He should have a nice little low ceiling shot, I believe.
Looks like he tried to throw a little bit of a hyzer up there at the bucket. Maybe pin high.
Should be a putt. Should be a look at it.
Yeah, Dixon, I have a feeling, looks like he's got his big spike disc out. Yep,
sure
that's
does.
exactly what it is.
What is that disc?
He throws a max weight pink max.
Okay.
End of a max. He has a funky way of throwing those. He puts a lot of spin and a lot of flare into them, so they go pretty much straight up and down. Unlike most other people's spikes, which actually travel a little bit.
Yeah, I know Dixon's pretty well known for his big spike hyzers.
And here's that kind of tough little straddle 60-footer-ish that Donald's got here by leaving his upshot short.
I'll tell you what, Donald's been playing some really good golf here the last few weeks, I know. His game's really coming around.
Yeah, he's trying to get in shape for the USTGC. He's really making a push this year to get back to it. Oh, was that Brendan with a little
low?
Yeah, a little high, I think.
Oh, was it high?
Yeah, a little chain
Okay.
high, spit out, and never got inside the chain. Dixon does what we call the prayer putt. He looks down and then looks up and fires.
Dixon high as well.
Yep. He doesn't want to see the basket until he looks up at it.
We got Andrew here. Could be the lonesome par. Oh, just short.
It's hole one's a tough hole on this course, especially if there's a headwind, which is what it appears to be today, because it's you're 600 feet uphill.
Yeah, it's one of the holes I consider a par 4 on the course for sure.
You're not going to lose the stroke to very many people by taking a 4. And a 3 is definitely gaining the stroke on most of the field. So tap in for it is not something to be upset about.
Yeah. Looks like that's what everyone's getting here.
Yep. All the same thing, with different routes, but the same result.
Exactly.
And the next hole is kind of interesting, hole 2. We're seeing Donald here playing along the fence line. There's a couple different routes here, depending on the wind. It's like Donald's going straight up the gut at it, which is the kind of favorable one. It's not.
Yeah, that's the route I usually take. I like to throw a buzz just right at it. It's probably about, what do you think, 320 or so downhill?
Maybe 300, 320. You got a nice little gravel rock face on the backside to stop it. If you're like me, I like to stay out of the trees as much as possible. And if the wind's right, there's a big spike line on this that I'll throw.
I've seen you throw that a few times.
But with the way it looked like the wind was on hole 1, they're probably not there this time, so you most likely won't see that.
Yeah.
Bucky doing another good job there, just throwing a nice easy rock.
Got Hickman.
What does he normally throw on this kind of shot? Is he a buzz guy? Do you know?
Yeah, I know Hickman carries the buzz. He also carries a pretty straight wasp, but I know he really likes that wasp, so that very well could have been a Z wasp.
Yeah, he used to throw the wasp quite a bit. Buzzes have just been phasing them out.
Yep, absolutely. We got Andrew here. A little bit right, pin high. That should be in his range, I think.
Yeah, as long as you get out of the trees in this hole, you're inside 40. So Dixon's throwing a stable 02 USDGC rock that he has. A little thing. He does pretty well with those rocks.
He throws rocks really well.
If you ever see him, he's got between 8 and 10 rocks in his bag at all times. It's pretty much his whole bag is rocks and a couple spike discs, and that's all you got. Andy looks like he's about 35-footer.
And that's a pretty good putt right there.
Yep, normally that putt right there is back into a headwind, so he's pretty happy to make that.
And we got Giggler here. About, what would you say he is, 25?
Yeah, something like that. It's funny, I have a background in radio and television, and the camera angles really play tricks on you. You guys watching might think that looked like it was about a 50-footer.
Mm-hmm.
In actuality, it's 20, 25 feet. So something to keep in mind as you're watching a lot of these videos. You've seen all these guys make these really big, long putts. In actuality, it's 20 and 25 footers, and that's where the money is. So that's what you got to practice.
Exactly. Practice those inside the circle putts. You're making those. You're gonna come out on top most of the time.
Yeah, when I practice putting, I very rarely get outside the circle. And most of the time, when I do, it's just to get a feel for the distance down. So looks like we've got a
bunch of birdies.
All-star deuce on that hole. You gotta like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Hole 3 is it's a little uphill, I think. Typically for me, I think I throw It's a pretty straight disc, probably my XL, even with a little hyzer flip up and let it fly pretty straight at it.
Yeah, it's about 330, 340, slightly uphill, and it looks like Donald there did kind of a safe route, which is bailing out to the left. If you have an option there, bailing out to the left is probably a safe thing. It can be a little tricky in a headwind, which is kind of probably what they have here. So.
Bucky get up there. That looks like it'd be a pretty decent look at the two at least.
It's kind of an interesting hole as well because you don't have, in this angle you can't really see it, but you don't have a lot of room to play with. Hickman just proved me wrong. You don't really have a lot of room to play with to the right, so you got to throw something that's not going to tail off a lot.
But does finish left.
But does finish left, yeah, exactly. Look, Andy's got a driver out here.
I'm not sure what it is, what he's throwing there.
No, if he's like, if he's I might have met him before. I don't know him. Most North Texas golfers that are in the 950 to 990 ratings range all throw a mixed bag, so you never know what you're going to get.
That's right.
Dixon's probably throwing that 0-2 rock. Ooh.
Looks like he kind of flipped it or held onto it a little bit. And
Hey, last time I was on a video, it was like 25 degrees, and I had to wear gloves between every shot. Like 80 degrees different now. Look at that pretty mug right there. Really? Hey, that ain't right. Hey. Hey, I love you. I love you. Did you see what he just did?
one thing about Donald, man, he likes to have a good time. And I love playing rounds of golf with that guy.
He's just hilarious to play with because he keeps you loose even when it's bad. Even when he's playing bad, he keeps you loose. And it's just
I've always said you never know what Donald's shooting if he's on another card because he's having just as much fun if he's shooting 10 over or if he's shooting 10 under.
Yep, definitely a guy you wanna meet and get to know for sure. I think he's got about a 45-footer back at the bucket here. He has a little hyzer putt. He's always putted with hyzer. It's a great putting style because it forces you to commit. But if you're putting into those crosswinds, it can be a lot of trouble.
We got Andrew here. Looks like he went a little long. Not too bad though.
Hitting the putt.
Bucky. That's good too.
Yep. Bucky's really come on in the last year. He's always been a pretty good AM player. He's been moving up slowly, but in the last year it seems like he's started actually playing open tournaments, and that's made him a much better golfer. So all you people out there listening to this, wanting to know how to become a better golfer, if you're playing advanced, especially if you're in the upper levels of advanced, you got to move up to open, or you'll just be stagnant and stay there and not learn anything. That's how you get better.
Absolutely. Play to your competition sometimes.
Bucky's living proof of that.
This is a little tricky hole here, in my opinion. A little downhill, got a Mando on the right.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's in its short pin for this round, which is a little bit easier. Basically, you're just throwing a buzz or a putter kind of down there at it, like Brendan did. But with it being downhill in the grass mode, it's really easy to go long, which is what Brendan has had a little bit of trouble with there.
Yeah, and if you go left and if you get a skip left into the bushes over there, it's not very fun over there. It's not an easy putt.
No, the bushes are really thick, so even if you just barely scoot into them, you really don't have anything. Like Andrew throwing a straight buzz or a rock, just
That's a good
perfectly.
shot. It's a pretty looking shot right there.
And that's how you do it.
What's Donald probably throwing here?
He has. It looks like he's got an orange rock out. He has a couple flippy DX rocks, and that's most likely what this is. He throws a lot of rocks. He has a unique grip on his discs. He doesn't grasp them with the full four fingers. He has a 2-finger grip. He uses his index finger and his ring finger. It really allows him to get a lot of snap and a lot of pop. Dixon, I'm sure there is just throwing one of his just straight rocks. One of the 10 he has in his bag.
Pretty good shot there.
Yep, I'd take it. Bucky really didn't have an option from there. Just lay up. It looks like he did that well.
Just try to get it close. Dixon Donald's got a little bit of a stump in his way, but it doesn't look like it's too terribly bad.
No, from here it looks like he's 60 feet out. He's really just on the edge of the circle. So.
Just a little left. That, like you said, he put to that hyzer. If he gets anything left of the pole, there's a pretty good chance it's not going to stick.
Exactly. That's that. When you miss left, most of the time it's not a full commitment.
Oh, Hickman.
Same problem. Dixon with the tap in.
Looks like Dixon and Andrew are going to walk away with a couple deuces on this hole.
The two guys in maroon shirts.
It's a great drive right there.
And hole 5 is one that gets me a lot. I don't get this one very often. Like Andrew's just doing a great shot.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, got the tree, dropped down.
It's what, maybe 320, 330?
Yeah, probably. It plays maybe a slight bit uphill, not too terribly bad. I still think I throw a buzz at it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, normally I do too. Dixon, a good kick there, kick him out. It's a really low ceiling too, so you're forced to throw something with some speed. You can't just float something out there. So, one of those holes that tricks you. It's only 330, but you really got to throw it.
You got to throw it really level as well with the. You got branches hanging up high that are, a lot of people seem to snag.
That's a pretty good shot to put Bucky. He got a little deep, but he got all the way through. So.
Yeah, it's better to be deep on this hole, putting back at it.
For sure. Brendan got enough
branches.
Yep. There's really not any alternate line here either. I mean, you're forced to throw straight at it, which is a great hole in my opinion.
Absolutely. Looks like Donald's throwing a T-bird, probably.
Probably. Usually I throw some kind of fairway driver versus a rocker or buzz. Depends on the conditions. Buzzes are great if it's calm out.
Oh, look at that skip.
But on this hole, a lot of times we want to land 50 short and skip up to it. It's just a little easier that way.
Absolutely. Play the skip, especially in Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We're playing Texas, be ready to skip. Brendan looked like he had a little trouble there going deep on his upshot.
Always thought it was unique how Dixon always has a towel in his hand. Every shot, everything. It's not something you see from a lot of players.
No, it's really not. I've never asked him about where he got that started, but
kind of like a security blanket, so to speak.
Yeah, he always has it in his hand because he feels comfortable with it. Dixon's a great guy, and he's got a couple of those kind of things that he does in this, with his game. They're just kind of like what, like the holding the towel, or he always carries a box of nerds, something that's kind of interesting.
His birdie rocks, he calls them.
Yeah, he says it gives you a little sugar rush. So you're having trouble getting birdies, take a little mouthful of nerds and get some birdies.
Dixon Jowers with us here. Tell us, Dixon, how did round 1 go?
It was a good round. I ended up scoring all right. I hit some bonus birdies, some stuff I probably shouldn't have hit, so that was good. With this course, and we talked about it a lot during the round, there's generally one mistake you can't make on each hole. If you stay away from that, stay in the middle, you can generally get some pars and some birdies. But if you find those mistakes, you can get in trouble pretty quick. And I made a couple of those mistakes. Got 5 on one hole, it cost me, and I was able to save another couple. So up and down round, but I ended up under par, so I'm happy.
Awesome.
Oh, chain left.
There's that little hyzer putt spit out. This ought to be interesting. Looks like Dixon's right up against that tree. Probably going to have to straddle. He's not a big straddle putter, but
You have to straddle over that bush maybe that
Yeah.
kind of sticks out there.
Yep. It's kind of an awkward position.
Absolutely, with that, your disc right in front of you. That branch is definitely going to be in his head.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like he's too terribly far though. So
No, he's only about 18 feet or so from right there.
let's see if we can save the par. Just low. Wow.
Ramped it. Those are some of the most frustrating putts because you've done everything right except get it up in the air.
Yep.
Never had a chance.
Everybody's just gonna tap out now. Kind of surprised me. We only had one deuce on this hole though.
Mm-hmm. It really is. Usually, especially on the top cards, it's an easy enough hole to usually get 2 or 3.
This has always been a tricky hole for me.
It's one of those. It's in that kind of tweener range where I think it's about 380, 360, somewhere in there. And with the lower ceilings of the trees, it's really hard to get a mid-range all the way there. But you need to throw something that goes straight and stays straight. So it's just like Bucky here went with the driver, it looks like, and you can see the
I'm gonna skip way left.
skip way left. And so it's one of those kind of in-between holes where you really want to throw a mid-range. You want the mid-range flight, but you need a driver distance.
Yeah, for me. That's where the XL comes in really handy.
Mm-hmm. I don't really have a shot in my bag for that. I normally in this case I'd probably just pull out a buzz and crank it.
Just smash it.
Mm-hmm.
A little low, didn't get the skip.
Yeah. Got that nose down, no skip. And all these holes we've seen before, there's really not too many other lines as far as options go. In Cedar Hill, they've done a very good job in course design.
Absolutely, Brian Lamoureux. He's one of my favorite people out there, and he did both these courses. And I know he's spent a lot of time, a lot of man hours out there clearing trees and
Yep.
designing these two 18-hole courses that are in one complex.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely beautiful out there. You can go out there middle of the day, and the only other people you're ever going to see out there are other golfers.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, it's not a multi-use park. It's just specifically for disc golf. Dixon looks like he got a little grip lock there.
yeah, a little high.
Yeah. But these holes are designed to be played a certain way, and there's really no sneaky routes. There's really not a lot of local lines, so it's very good.
Oh no, Hickman. Looked like he had a little grip lock as well.
And it happens on some of these tighter ones. Yeah, a little roll off there too.
Yeah, there's Dixon right behind a tree here. This is one of the toughest shots, in my opinion. The backward shot or patent pending.
Yeah, I think they call it patent pending because nobody wants to claim it.
Yeah.
Isn't that correct? Somebody started doing it a while back, and nobody claimed it or had a name for it, so they just called it patent pending. But it's definitely something you want to practice because it's very useful.
Yep.
Like Andrew there, just trying to lay it up.
Yeah, it's gonna work out just fine for Dixon there.
Yep.
See, Bucky, even though he skipped off way left, he's still got a decent look at this basket.
Yeah, it's not too bad, not terrible. Just not
I know,
ideal.
there's another pin right about where he is, and maybe a little further back, but
Yeah, this is they're playing the shorter layout today. There you see Brian Lamoureux in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing the shorter layout today. Rounds generally go a little faster, scores are a little lower. So you see a lot of shorter baskets. Doesn't mean it's much easier.
Yeah, I think a lot of that might have been that it's 110 degrees out that day too.
That's true. You want to get the golfers off the course as soon as possible.
Just low. He probably didn't have much of a look from in there with Looked like he was doing a little bit of a straddle putt, so.
Brendan's got kind of a Dixon Jowers thing going on too. He always feels comfortable holding his other putters in his left hand.
Yeah, I've asked him about that. He says, well, you know, when I'm practicing, I've got both my putters in my hand, so it just makes sense to, you know, have the other one there while I'm playing.
Yeah, you gotta practice how you play and play like you practice.
Exactly.
So.
It's easier said than done, I know, but
It is. Dixon getting that putt in there to tackle down the 4. Yeah, I think he got a 4 there.
This is a fun little hole. The road there doesn't play OB, but looks like it's the short pin as well. Now it's that'll be a decent look at it.
There's really, I mean, you can stand there on the tee box and look, and there are some lines, but they're incredibly tight. So you can see a lot of people try to today throw down the road and get the skips like they're getting right here.
Now they're not going to probably get all the way over to the basket, but it should be a fairly easy 3.
But yeah, they're getting out of the trees and getting a 3.
Yep.
All you AMs watching, that's how you make money at the pro level and how you do better is playing safe shots and knowing when to take risks.
Knowing when to lay up and when to go for it.
It's like Donald went for it and he got through.
Yep.
That's gonna be right up there putting.
It's a great shot. Dixon's probably gonna play down the road, I would imagine.
Yeah, it looks like he's got looks like a Max or an Excal there. He's gonna try and skip off the road there. Yep, threw it wide.
Big skip.
And there it is.
That's a pretty good skip right there. That's going to give him a decent look at it.
Yeah, it's a little downhill towards the bucket, and there's some high grass behind it that's not out of bounds. So even if you do airball it, you're not going to go very far. So it's not a huge risk on a play. Yeah.
I really enjoyed the long pin on this hole myself. I like throwing a roller down through the trees.
Yeah, you try to throw a roller and
That's
get it
Donald
over
Ellsworth
the
on the greasy shot of the day so far. Did you catch that?
That's old Dixon giving Giggler a little, getting greasy there. So
yeah.
I think it's kind of funny. These guys play a lot of golf together.
They do. They've known each other for a while, too.
Oh,
Dixon.
stay up.
Oh.
Great run. Great bid.
Little short. Here's the camera angles playing funny tricks on you like we were talking about. Looks like he's 140 out, and he's actually probably about 60 or 70 feet.
That basket looks so tiny down there, though, doesn't it?
It does.
Bucky, not very happy with that, is he?
No. He's a pretty good jump putter. He likes to throw things out to the right and let them float in. So.
Looks like Donald was a little short. He might have got caught up on something.
Yeah, I'm not sure he put quite enough on it to actually make the corner. He just barely tucked around the bush there. But 3's a 3.
Yeah. There we go. Good putt, Hickman.
Yep. Brendan with a 2, I believe, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
You know what? No, that was a par. His tee shot ended up back in the trees there a little bit.
Oh, that's right. He did clip that tree. Still a great par save.
Yep.
Looks like everyone's going to get the 3 then.
Yep. All-star 3 on that hole is a very good thing. Doesn't happen very often.
No.
Here you can see the first of the holes that play along waters and creeks. There's a couple of them out here at Cedar Hill.
This is the Beaver course as well. So
there's a couple holes that play along the pond. This one's just about, I'd say it's probably about, again, that 350 range, 360 range. Really not a lot.
It's really not too far, really. I mean, it's like most of these guys are going to see their big spikes over the water, and there's a couple trees to tend with, but for the most part, it's a fairly easy shot.
The grass down there is fairly sticky too. That's one of the other reasons to throw a spike. Dixon got a tree there. Guardian trees.
Hickman looked like he threw a little Anheuser at it.
Yeah, I don't know if he meant to throw an Anheuser or if he just didn't pull it quite far enough.
Let's see if Dixon can make a long one. Oh, just low again.
Yeah, he's got a good, solid putt.
Yeah, he's got that nice spin
Mm-hmm.
from 80 feet. He can just stand there and putt it.
Yep. It's
Giggler's really good at that as well. I've seen him, throw a putt and think, wow, that's not going to get there, and it just stays up on that line. And
yeah, that's part of the hyzer putt too. Is it's a little more. You got to put a little more steam on it.
mm-hmm.
So you'll make some stuff that doesn't look like it's very good.
Just high.
A little high. Saved by the number.
He's been high a couple times today. Seems.
Yep. Sometimes you get in those ruts where everything's clicking and working right, but you can't keep the putter up or down. So Dixon's been a little low. Donald's been a little high.
Yep.
That's how it works.
Now we go into the woods for a little bit.
Yep.
Hole 9's a pretty good hole.
Yeah, it really is. Like I said, it's not one of those holes where there's no sneaky lines. You're forced to throw it straight at the bucket. Ooh, Bucky.
I'm not sure if the water's in there right now or not, if it's all dried up, but usually the water, where you can see that big tree laying down, is usually water all in there.
Yeah, it can be a little intimidating too.
Absolutely.
That gap that Andrew just threw, and that was a very good shot.
Excellent
It was only about 12, 13 feet wide, and it's probably 250 feet off the box.
Yeah, 250, 260.
So,
Now, is this in the short pin?
I don't know. I can't see the bucket. Short pin's right through that opening. The long pin's about another 100 feet up the hill
Up
through
to
the
the
opening.
left.
Mhm.
Yeah. It plays like a true par 4 as well. It's not that far, but
Yeah,
it's tough, and that's what you don't want to do right there.
Yeah.
You don't want to be left in that.
yeah. It's not a good spot because if the pin is up to the left, there's no way to get to it. You basically have to pitch out to the corner and then throw it to the bucket. So if you don't have a good tee shot on this hole, you're taking a 4.
That should be all right for Hickman.
Yeah, a little bit right's not bad.
Yeah, if you're gonna be anything, be right. Don't be left.
Looks like the water's not up too high. Bucky's probably safe in there. Yep, there he is right there.
Yeah, this is a really tough hole when that pond is full. But like we said, it's August in Texas, so
Looks like the pin is straight away there. You can see it.
yeah, in the short placement. Bucky's trying to get a line on it.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of Shulin bushes right in between him and the basket.
Looks like he's going with a sidearm.
Yeah, I've played with him a couple times recently, and he throws sidearms, but not consistently. So he's one of those golfers. If you see it pulled out, it's probably something to get out of trouble.
Looks like he scratched the sidearm, going with a bit of an Anheuser, maybe putter shot.
Yep, and having a little 200-foot sidearm doesn't have to be long, but it's a great tool.
It's a very good tool to have. I know I've been really working on mine here lately.
Yeah, it's it's a stroke shaver. It shaves
Absolutely.
strokes off your round.
Go! Ooh!
That was a great shot by
Good run.
Bucky there. He was blind. He couldn't see the bucket. Just had to
Yeah,
throw
that shot was a lot harder than he made it look. I'll tell you that right
Yeah.
now.
Basically, he was throwing right at the bushes and hoping it turned. Looked like it worked out. Donald's going to be in a little bit more of a predicament. He pulled it way left over there in the bushes, so we'll see if he can come up with anything.
I think he's just trying to get up there somewhere close and hopefully hit the putt. I don't think he has much of an option to,
No.
He might be able to get a little sidearm roller out or something if he wants to park it, but in this situation, really, you just need to, you don't always need to park the hole. You just need to, figure out, hey, if you're feeling confident hitting your 15-footers, that gives you, a huge area to land in.
Exactly. If you're sure you can hit 9 out of 10 of your 15-foot putts, then you have 30-foot diameter circle to land in every time.
Yep.
So Donald actually did pretty good to get out like he did. And it's just going to lay up.
Dixon's isn't too terrible over there. Not as bad as it looked on the drive.
No, he got pretty fortunate to not kick in there too far.
Still gonna be a tough putt. So
Yeah.
with the tree in his way, right in front of him.
He's probably going to just look at, laying
just
it up.
Toss it up there, chain high. If it goes in, it goes in. If not, he walks away with an easy 3.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to make everything.
You gotta get your left foot back a little bit.
Is that Andrew in there?
Yeah, he's, I thought he was a little better off than that. It must just not have held.
It must have finished left there at the end, but
Mhm.
I mean, he's got to look at it right there. I think.
Yeah, he's really only about 20 feet from the bucket. Anytime you're that close, even if you're in the woods, a lot of times there's some way to get it there.
And he got it.
There
It's a
you go.
great deuce.
Yep. Donald's going to give this a save shot.
Save his 3 here. Right.
Easy peasy.
Looks like everyone else is going to tap in for their pars.
Welcome to Cedar Hill, man.
There's the scores right now through 9 holes.
Oh, I wasn't even looking. Oh, let me
It's
see.
like Bucky's playing a little catch up there.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yep.
This has been kind of a breakout tournament for a couple guys, a couple local golfers that have never really done incredibly well at the open level. It's been a
Looks like Andrew's playing some pretty good golf as
Mhm.
well.
yep. They know they're capable of it.
This is a great hole right
It
here.
really is.
That's going to be a pretty good shot right there. It's how far you say this hole is? About 330, 340?
It's about 330, I think, but it plays uphill, and
Yeah.
the turn or the hook at the end is very severe, so it really plays closer in the 360 range.
It's one of those. It's a low ceiling. You really just want to. For me, I like to throw something really stable and just smash it flat, and then let it finish left.
Yeah, just aim right down the middle, and the ground down there, like we said earlier, in Texas, you play the
Yeah.
skip.
Yeah.
The ground down there is going to skip, so you just want to land in the middle at the corner, and it'll turn.
That's a big skip.
There
That
you
should
go.
be a look at it right there. Yeah, it's
Yep,
pretty
that-
good shot.
That was very good.
Huh?
You can see him smiling.
Oh
He-
yeah.
He hit a little earlier than he wanted to, but it worked out. Dixon's got a next gal here.
Do it nice and flat, maybe a little low.
On the edge, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's an easy 3.
Hickman needs to get something going here.
Yeah, he's been having a pretty rough time today.
Looks like he saw that off a little bit. Maybe came out a little early.
Yeah. Well, early's not really a good place to be on this hole. You can be to the right a little bit and be okay, but once you get in early, like here where Bucky is, it's really hard to get around the corner to the bucket.
Yeah, I mean that basket's a lot further around that corner than you think it is.
Mm-hmm. You see him using the skip to his advantage there.
That probably skipped up there nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Hickman. Looks like he's got a sidearm.
Clipped another limb there.
Yeah. He still away here.
Like I said,
You can definitely tell how dry it is with all that dust kicking up. And
Mm-hmm.
Bucky Garrett was in the lead after round 1, and then Don took over. Tell us a little bit about how your round 2 went.
Oh, round 2 started off pretty nice. Me and Bucky, we battled back and forth. He held it, and then we ended up tying. Coming into hole 10, I think that's where we tied back up at. Coming into hole 11, I birdied 11, and then from 11 there is when it all happened. I come in and basically birdied 11, 12, par 13. he got one back on me on 15. Coming into 16, 17, 18, I think I birdied 16 I parred 16 and ended up birdieing 17 and 18. That's what kind of sealed it up right there. Coming into one, I think we had one left, and I parred one. That's basically how the round went.
Everybody just clearing out, going on to hole 11. 11's a little bit tricky. Just a really short hole.
It's short, but it's uphill. You look at it and you think, I can just throw a putter. But it's uphill. A lot of times you need a mid-range to get the extra skip and distance. I actually got an ace here one time on this hole.
Nice.
Threw a buzz low, landed 30 feet short, hit a limb, and skipped right up.
He threw that low.
Yeah, you can see it. Even though he messed up a little bit, it looks like he threw it low and into the ground and turned it over. It still skipped another 60 feet up the fairway. So you don't want to really crush this pin. You just want to land about 30 short and let it scuttle up to it.
It's a tough little shot, though. With there's a bunch of trees just right off the tee pad on the left side.
Yeah. And Bucky just nutted it right there.
Right. It's a great shot.
Yep. He'll have a putt from there for sure. The basket is in quite a few little trees, so the angles up there can be a little goofy.
Yeah. We got Giggler throwing a rock, probably.
There's that 30 feet short I was talking about and just skipping up to it. I'm not sure if Dixon has an AVR or a rock. It's one of the two. A little 10-time action. Probably a rock since he throws rocks.
It's a pretty good shot as well. That'll play.
3 really good shots there.
Get through. Yeah, kicked out at least.
Yeah. That had held the line it was on when he threw it, it would have been a lot better. That would have been it.
Got Andrew here. How far out would you say he is there?
He's probably about 80 feet out. Like I said, he got a good skip up the fairway, so not terrible. Oh, Brendan just a little short. I think that's Bucky back there. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. He had a good shot, but he skipped off to the left a little bit, and then all these little trees start kind of getting in the way, becoming difficult.
Exactly. So like you said, you want to throw it short and let it skip.
Yep, and all he had there was the pitch out, so nothing wrong with that. Donald hit
2.
That was a 2. That was a good 2.
Looks like Dixon's going to have a drop in.
Yep. Going on the next one. The next hole is a little, the shortest hole in the course, I think. Maybe on either course, since there's 2 courses here. But it's also one of the ones that can be the most challenging.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen 2s and I've seen 5s on this hole, so
it's only about 160 feet, maybe. And that's why it can be challenging. Donald just pulled it a little bit off the tee box there, and there's so many little trees it can kick you off into.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different routes you can take on this hole.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer a flippy challenger right up the middle.
Yep.
Or maybe even a banger.
I usually just close my eyes and hope it hits the middle. Because it's very, very tight.
Got Andrew here's probably going to throw a putter shot as well.
That's okay.
Looks like a little AVR or something. He got through the first couple trees. Those were the important ones.
Yeah.
So from there, it's a pretty easy par.
Bucky Garrett. Looks like he clipped the tree as well.
Yeah. You're pretty much going to hit a tree on this hole. You just hope it's a good one.
Yeah. Well, that's a good shot there by Hickman. Looked like it got through at least most of it. There's the basket.
Yep. The basket sits on a little down slope. So if you can just kind of get up there and skip up to it, even if you're on top of the hill, you're still in the circle easily. So.
Yeah, I've also seen people go past it down the path to the next tee pad.
Yep. It's just so short. It's hard to wrap your mind around that to throw it soft enough.
Yeah.
Donald might have gotten a pretty good little kick here, second kick. Looks like he's not too bad. Not as bad as he could be.
Absolutely. Looks like he's thinking about it pretty hard, though. Looks like he's going with the straddle putt.
Yep. Probably got a couple of different options. He ran at it.
Yep.
It's kind of the danger of this one, though, is running at it to get that down slope. So hopefully he didn't go too far past.
Yeah, you'd have to hit the path pretty good to pretty much perfect to go too far down there.
Yeah, there's a lot of little trees back behind it. It's one thing playing courses like these will make you better at is getting out of trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
Andrew didn't do too badly there.
Yeah.
Got a pretty favorable kick.
Got to look at it at least.
Mm-hmm.
Just low, but easy three. Go on to the next one.
Yep. Hickman must have hit something once he got
must have
around
hit
the
something
corner.
late, yeah.
He's really only about 30 or 35 feet out right here. What? See, kind of a soft putt. Yeah, just left it a little short.
I mean, it's a pretty tough hole, but I'm still surprised there's no deuces on it.
Yeah, it's funny. I very rarely get twos on this hole, just because it's so tight. Most of the time, my card is only one, maybe two.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, good save there by Dixon. I think Donald didn't go too far past.
Not too bad, but it can be a tricky putt, especially getting late in the round and Bucky making a charge and, this big straddle putt for three to save his par.
Yeah, he hit it. You see him a little hopping there. He's getting excited.
Yeah. Now this next hole, boy, it's pretty challenging.
It's
probably the hardest hole on the course to get a three on, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a placement hole.
Yeah.
There's really no way to get a two on it. No safe way to get a two on it. And, you need to throw it only about 100, 120, 30 feet off the tee box, and then you're still left with about 150 feet to the bucket. So it just takes a hard 90-degree turn to the left.
There is a little window up high. I know I've seen a few people take on this shot, especially if it's up to the on the right on that hill.
Yeah, it looks like Donald's going to go for that.
Yeah.
I throw a lot of these little sneaky lines. Anytime I can, I throw them. But this one on this hole, I've never felt comfortable throwing because it's just so tight.
I've seen people do it. I've seen people hit that tree, and I've seen them drop right in front of them.
Mm-hmm. And then you're left with trouble.
Oh,
Just
there you go.
like that.
There you go.
That's what happened.
Dixon most likely will do the same. Nope, he's going to go down the middle. I think at the last tournament here at Cedar Hill, Dixon tried this. I remember watching him. Tried that same route Donald just took, and it didn't work out for him. So he's taking the safe play and just throwing a little thumber just right up the fairway.
Yeah, that's really the smarter play there. Donald's in a lot of trouble over there.
Yeah. Really the shot here, like you just saw Andrew throw, is either a sidearm or a thumber. Just to get it to the corner. You're not really trying to get around it. You just need to get up there.
Yeah, and you can go too far. If you go too far, you're in the shrubbery and little bitty trees, and not an easy out.
Nope, and the basket's sitting up on top of a hill too, so you can't just soft it up there. You have to put a pretty good throw on it.
Bucky, a good chance for Bucky to get another stroke on Donald.
Yep. We'll have to see what Donald comes up with here.
Hickman going a little putter turnover.
Yep. Looks like he kicked left a little bit.
Now Donald's going down the middle.
Yep. First you don't succeed on this hole, don't try again.
Yeah.
Maybe he's telling himself I should have done that in the first place. Yeah, looks like Brendan kicked left a little bit there, so he's going to try and get to the bucket from here, it looks like. I don't know if he'll be successful or not. No, but he's right in the middle. You can see the basket sitting on top of that hill there. So
Be a look at it at least.
Yeah, he at least has a shot at it. Yeah, from where Dixon is here, right at the corner, it's probably about 80 feet up the hill. So it's doable, but it's just a little bit of a pump.
Yeah, especially up that hill.
Mm-hmm. The hill's a lot sharper than it looks. Good Andy's got here. He's got those good looking socks on today. I like that. Nice. Easy up and down.
Yep. Three's not going to kill you on this hole at all.
Nope. You're going to see very few twos, and most of them you do see are fortunate ones that happen to sneak through something.
Sneak through or get a lucky or even maybe a throw in.
Yep.
That's Donald for par.
He actually did really well to get to where he is right now off of that tee shot. So
He's going to have to settle for the bogey.
Yep.
Bucky chance to get 2 strokes on if he makes this.
That's right. Oh, and he did.
How about that?
He canned it.
What a great putt. Great deuce by Bucky.
It's fantastic.
Hold it a little right, it looked
Yeah.
like.
A lot of times on these uphill putts, you're trying to get a little extra juice on it, so you end up pulling your putters a little right. I have that problem occasionally. Just tapping in. They're going to start to kind of come out of the woods here a little bit. There's still plenty of trees around, but you'll see a lot more open shots. This hole has a couple of different routes. You can see Bucky's taking a sidearm to it. There's a big tree in the middle. The basket's behind that tree. So if you have
kind of sets in a little bit of a cove.
Mm-hmm. If you have that pretty, you don't have to be a big sidearm, but if you have that good 300-foot sidearm, it can be an easy shot. Looks like he sawed that off.
I really like the turnover buzz shot myself here.
Looks like that's what Dixon's about to do here is a turnover rock.
Want to go a little wider, maybe?
Yeah, it looks like he clipped that tree. He should be on the other side. But a little bit wider, and that would have been all over it.
Andrew throwing a sidearm.
Yeah, again, just not getting it wide enough.
Yeah. I've also seen people throw little stall shots, little late hyzers down the right side.
Yeah,
it isn't an easy shot at all.
No, it's a little tighter. It's a little less safe, but if that's what you're comfortable with, then that's what you got to do.
If you don't feel comfortable throwing that turnover, if the wind's coming right to left or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, with the rock turnover, that looks pretty tasty.
Yeah, it did. I couldn't see where it finished, but that looked like it was right
You
on.
see it?
He's smiling.
Yeah, of course. He could have hit that first tree and he'd still be smiling, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Donald. They don't call him Giggler for nothing.
That's right. Brendan with a little meteor, hoping to hold. Didn't quite do it.
Yeah, at least he didn't go too far in those trees. It's
I can't think of one
it's pretty
person out
bad
there
if you
that throw that
get
shot
too
down
far up in those trees on the left side. It's pretty easy to get a 4.
Yeah, because of the basket sitting in a cove, makes it difficult to actually get to it. We've got a couple people here in this tree in the middle. like Andrew's going to be taking a minute to find the best route here. Sometimes you just got to take your time and make sure you see all your options. Most likely he's just going to give it a little pitch up. He probably doesn't have a lot in there.
Yeah, that side over there can be pretty tough. As long as he's taking, you think he's going to make a run at it.
Yeah. A lot of, I mean, it's just...
Or it's just that much jail.
It looks like it's that much jail. Can't really see what he's got there. I think he's going to throw a little Annie out here to the left.
He's definitely taking his time on this shot.
Yeah. That's actually not terrible. He might have a little look there from the edge.
He must have been in some pretty thick jail there.
Yep.
We got who's in here?
I think this is Dixon. I can see that maroon shirt in there. He looks like he laid up a little short as well. Yeah, Brendan's not terrible there. You can see him right on the edge.
Little sidearm. Not too bad.
Nope.
It's one of those holes that you really want to get a 2 on as well, but it's one of those 3's not going to kill you either.
Yeah, there's a lot of holes like that on this course, especially in this layout where a 2 is very easily attainable, but
yeah,
there's so many other hard holes that you can afford to miss some here and there.
And Bucky saves his par.
Yep. What's a good score on this course? You think with everything being in short position, normally about a 7 or 8 down is a pretty hot score.
Yeah, I would say the lead card here should be shooting around that. You would think, but it's hard to say. I mean, it doesn't look like the wind's blowing that much, so
no, it really doesn't.
Short holes, you would think they'd be coming in pretty hot.
Yeah. That's a great shot on this hole by Dixon if it comes out.
Yeah, this is a good hole. Little downhill, trees lining both sides of the fairway. You have to throw it on a rope pretty much if you want to get the deuce.
Yeah, if you get off into the trees on either side, it won't kill you, but there's definitely you're gonna struggle a lot trying to get out of it because it's pretty thick.
How far do you think it is? About 370, 380?
I'd say it's about 380, but it's downhill quite a ways.
Yeah.
So
he probably only plays about 350.
Yeah. More often than not, people if they nut it, they go too far past.
Yeah.
It looks like that's just what Bucky did right there.
Mm-hmm.
He threw a great shot.
I'll tell you what, I would take being too far past it every time over being in the woods on either side of the hole.
You and me both. You and me both.
It looks like you got a nice kick out at least.
Yep. In the middle of this hole, even if you're only halfway down there, you're very happy with it. It's like Andrew's got a leopard or something like that. That's a good shot if it holds.
Oh yeah, great shot.
That's a great shot. He's on the pole. Here's what we were talking about with it being a little hairy on both sides. A lot of cedar trees out here.
Yeah.
That's why it's called Cedar Hill. Looks like he might be trying a little flick roller here.
Yeah, might be doing flick roller or maybe just a big kind of flick Anheuser shot.
Yep. Little flick Annie.
Not bad.
No. Probably not going to get a 3 from there, but he's out. Brendan just laying it up.
Right there.
That's Donald. He must have on that.
Must have a little hit and roll or something on that.
Yeah. It can be. Anytime you're throwing those mid ranges on a flick line like that, you better make sure you have your angle down, because if you dip them into the ground, they like to roll.
Absolutely.
A little tip there for you guys: if you're throwing those anti flicks like that, especially with mid ranges, make sure you get enough air underneath them, because they will roll out. Looks like he pitched out pretty well there.
Still, Bucky's going to pick up another one on him.
Yep, maybe two if he hits his putt. Dixon's got a look here. His tee shot didn't ever quite come out, but you can see him right on the edge. He definitely has the opportunity for a birdie. Oh, he airballed it.
It's not what he was wanting to do,
No.
for sure. He's got almost the same putt he just had.
Mm-hmm. Same distance. He's just been a little bit off with his putting today. It can be more frustrating than being way off.
Yeah. Oh, Dixon.
Looking at his hand there, maybe a little sticky. Sometimes in the heat, when you pick up your water bottle or something, your hand can go from dry to wet, and then it becomes sticky. And that just kind of gets in your head and causes you to grip things a little more than you want.
There you go, Dixon. Just get that putt in and move on.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost the same putt he had to start with. Huh?
Yeah. It's one of the reasons he has to towel, and I take extra towels with me on hot rounds as well, for that specific reason of wiping my face and my hands off, trying to keep them dry. I think this is hole 16 now.
16, yeah.
This one's kind of interesting. You've got a big ante line over here, which is what Bucky just took. A little bit of ante line. It's wide open that way. There's also a tighter hyzer line, which is a little easier to get closer to the pin, but it's a little more risky. So we might see that out of one or two of the guys.
Yeah.
If they're trying to gain some strokes.
I really prefer the little Anheuser line myself.
It's just safer. It's just a lot safer. If you
Yeah,
mess up.
I mean, if you throw the hyzer line, there's a good chance you're going to hit the first tree.
Yep. That's what Andrew threw right there, is a little hyzer line. He got a tree late down there, but he's out enough to save that par.
Looks like Hickman's lining up the ante.
No, he went hyzer and hit the
There's
first
that tree.
that tree you were talking about. Dixon's got a hyzer disc out. He's going with that hyzer line as well. I'm a little surprised to see this many people throwing that hyzer line.
I am as well. I always felt the ante's the shot here.
Yeah. I mean, the hyzer line definitely, if you can hit the line, it's easier to get closer to the basket. But it's just a lot more risky. Like Donald might be lining it up too. In fact, I know he is. I think it's the next gal he has out there, Seaborn. He got through. Ooh.
Skipping left.
Yep, skipping away left.
Looks like Hickman, he's the only one that caught up early. Everybody else looks like they're in pretty good shape to save their threes.
Yep. Brendan with one more tree hit, and the last tree coming out of there.
That's a good shot right there by Dixon.
It's a great upshot. Nice and soft with the rocks. Again, Andy playing solid golf, not making mistakes.
Bucky just laying it up there for the easy three.
Yep. He might have the lead at this point, actually. So it's funny when you get a lead, does your thinking and your play style change?
It does. It shouldn't, but it absolutely does. At this point, you're just, you're almost trying to match the guy that you're beating. You're more like on this hole, for instance, if they both three it, and let's say Bucky missed a putt or something, you're not as disappointed with that if you don't lose any strokes.
Right. It's almost like you quit playing the course and now you're starting to play another individual.
Exactly. When really, you should always just play the course, play it shot for shot, hole for hole.
Right.
If you're going to throw a shot, you should definitely throw that same shot, no matter what the circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
If you're winning by 4, if you're losing by 4.
Yep, it's true.
There's if and ands about that. Like, if you're down by a couple in the last hole, you're going to be a little more aggressive. But
yeah, and if you're up by a couple, you're going to lay a putt up rather than
Absolutely.
go for it. It's hole 17. It's this one. Looks like Bucky's got a little mid-range here, so this is in the short position.
yeah, I think so.
The basket's right behind one of those trees you see there. He's going to try to throw a little ante at it.
You can see it up in there, I believe. Not too bad. A little right and short probably, but at this point, he's just trying to play smart and safe and get out of here.
Yep, so he got across the water and is going to drop a 2-putt just under the bucket and tap it in. There's been several aces, tournament aces on this hole too.
Get it.
Andrew just looked like he parked it with that one.
Yeah.
That looked really good.
I'm really impressed with Andrew today. He's played some pretty solid golf.
Yeah, it's always fun to see a guy that you don't see on the lead cards and up at the top very often playing well. Dixon just
Solid it off a little, didn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't look like he threw it.
he's having a few issues today, just controlling those rocks.
Yeah, definitely on a hole like this, you want to be deep. There's no reason to even come close to flirting with that water.
Nope. McDonald's trying a little stall shot up and over the top.
Clip the tree, but that should be all right.
Yeah, that clip might have actually helped him.
We got Hickman here. He's kind of struggled most of the day, hasn't he?
Yeah, a little bit. He's just having one of those days where everything just looks like it's an inch off.
Yeah.
Sometimes those are just more frustrating than just playing flat out bad. Either way, all of these guys should at least have a little run at it. Should be close enough to have a run at this bucket.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Dixon's right there, so.
Mm-hmm. You can't really see it from this angle, but he's probably putting about 5 feet uphill at the bucket. So it's a pretty severe slope there.
Putting from his knees, so always makes it a little trickier.
Yep, and again, looks like he nicked the
Probably,
pan.
probably had that in his head again from a couple holes ago when he 3-putted.
Mm-hmm. Hickman's a little deep there, but nothing he can't handle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tree kick definitely helped Donald.
Yeah, didn't hurt him, that's for sure.
Yep.
It's like cleaning up his 3.
Yep.
Bucky's parked.
Yep. I'm not sure if that was a 2 or a 3 there. But definitely he has the lead at this point, I believe. He's playing safe, just taking his time on everything. Andrew's got the box in the last hole there. It's
18's pretty cool hole.
yeah, it's a pretty hard righty hyzer. You got to kind of really hug the tree line off the tee box to get it to hyzer over to the bucket. You can also throw up and over the top and get there.
Well, some can.
Yeah, some can. That's true. I should put that caveat on it. Depends on the wind conditions, though. Looks like everybody can be going low today.
Yeah, I typically will throw low every time on this shot. Just there's a big tree Donald just clipped, I believe. That's
Yeah.
the tree you want to hug just on the right side of it, and something stable is gonna hyzer up.
Yeah. You can see all these guys throwing pretty sharp hyzers. That's really the only way to get over to the bucket.
Yeah.
Little tourney roll there from Brendan.
Yeah, I think that was rolling in a good direction, though.
Mm-hmm. See what Bucky does here. He's probably just going to throw it down the middle, make sure he stays away from those trees on the left side. Doesn't need a 2 at this point. He knows Donald will hit that tree, so. Yeah, that's what he did. Threw a little wider, a little safer. Just get it down in here.
Just get down to the trees. Looks like it skipped up. It's going to be relatively easy up and down for his par.
Yeah, he's about 60 out right there. Dixon's going to try and hug it, see if he can gain a stroke here.
Going to be a pretty good win there for Bucky, I'd say.
Yeah, a really good win. I'm not sure if he's won any Open tournaments yet or not. This might be his first one. It's a really good win. It's funny, once you get that first win under your belt, you kind of realize, oh, it's really not that hard.
Yeah.
It is and it isn't. You know, it's a mental block you kind of break through. So.
See the other players coming in, maybe a little bit of a gallery for these guys on the last hole.
Yeah, playing in front of a gallery is always fun.
Absolutely.
Donald with a pretty good upshot there.
Got Hickman here.
Gave it a run.
Yeah, Bucky just throwing it up under the basket.
That's that laying up we were talking about a few holes ago. Sometimes you know you got it, so lay it up. Don't risk anything.
Yeah, I mean, he can hit the pan and potentially roll out of bounds behind that fence over there, you know? More than likely wouldn't happen, but
it's possible.
But yeah, I mean, take that out of play. Just toss it up under it.
Yep. See if Dixon can get this last putt here. Give him a little confidence.
No, all day. Just off.
Just a little off. Sometimes
it happens.
Yep, there's nothing you can do about it. You just gotta grin and bear through it and do your best.
Andrew Berger to finish out. Nice.
He has putted very well all day.
Yeah, he played pretty good today.
Yep.
Very good job.
Dixon finishing strong with that good solid putt. Donald throwing in his 30.
You got Bucky, 2010 Cedar Hill champion. Congratulations, man.
Throwing it in there. Good job.
Good battle.
All right, Cool Daddy Slick Breeze here with Bucky Garrett, who just won the 2010 Cedar Hill Open. When I was following you, I noticed around hole 5, I think is when you took the lead from Donald Ellsworth. Tell us kind of after that, what was going through your mind at the different holes?
I took the lead on hole 5, and then we just kind of battled, and it was neck and neck, and we kind of switched back and forth. Just there was a lot of tension. I think actually I held the lead, and I was one stroke up until 13, where he made one mistake, and then it cost him. I got a birdie there on 13, and I think I went up 4 right there, and I think I held the lead from then on. I just kind of laid up and played safe and stay out of trouble and try to bring it home.
Were there any of the holes in particular out here that really kind of gave you a big challenge?
You know, I gave myself a challenge on a few of them. I made some of them kind of hard, but I think 15 is kind of tough. Coming back down the hill, it's a real tight fairway. I guess hole 10 I kind of made hard. I got off to the left of the fairway. But for the most part, you know, just playing smart.
Cool.
Smart kept me in it.
Awesome. We did a great job. I was obviously when I was filming, I was watching and saw some really nice disc golf action. As far as the heat and the level of play that was here, you know, any comments on that?
Oh, it's just the heat's ridiculous. What is it? 102, 103 today?
I think it hit 115 heat index.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, that and there's tough competition. I mean, these guys don't make a lot of mistakes out here, and this is my first win. So it's nice to do it at a beach area with this competition. I play with some of the guys locally, minis and stuff, and it's tough. It's tough competition.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, man.
Appreciate it.
Uh-huh.